XM 105, Sirius 206, the Opie and Anthony channel. The Ron and Fez show starts right now.
Hey, let's get down to it, Papa.
Oh, buddies, let's get down to it. It's the Ron and Fez show, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. We'll open up the phone lines today for a little bit of talk radio. Chris Stanley, you're keeping an eye on the news with us to keep us updates because they're taking the Joker out of jail today.
Yep.
And taking him where exactly?
They take him to the courthouse in Aurora to fucking formally charge this creepy weirdo. That is the Joker.
Allegedly. Creepy weirdo. Now, we're going to have all the TV channels on. If anybody actually gets a sight of him anywhere, give us a spy report call on it. We've got 7, 8 going here, but you could always miss it. But I can't imagine that they're going to be snipers, opening up for any kind of sniper. They've got to be worried about that, right?
Someone is packing in the crowd, and they want this guy badly.
I can't remember the last time that we had a criminal where so many people inside and outside of jail saying, I want to kill that dude.
That came out over the fucking weekend. Some dude just got out of lockup, was like, the Joker, he's fucking number one. Everyone wants a piece of this dude.
And
that's all anyone can talk about.
They chant kid killer at him. They won't let anybody with 100 yards at him. They're ferocious in there.
They put him in the women's section of the jail. He's not even among men or anything. He's in the women's.
Do you think that that's embarrassing? Like when a guy gets sent to home ec, almost as like a punishment. Like if you're gonna act that way, we're just gonna send you to home ec today.
All right, see what happens.
Up on the iBang today is a piece called "Hollywood Looks Within" because there's articles out that some of the studios feel so weirded out by this and see it as incredibly bad business that they're wondering, the way we made movies before, does that have to stop? And there is something really, really weird about the American public, maybe the world, I don't know, where we love violence, just fucking crazy about shoot-'em-up movies and have been our whole lives. And yet, when someone does shoot him up, we're like, you fucking savage fuck. Where did you get the angle for this?
You're an animal.
You belong in the women's side of prison. So we don't face it. But one of the people that has faced it, and at least he told us this on Friday, is our own Fez Whatley. Fez, when we left off Friday, you said you were making some major changes in your life.
Yeah, the Joker here, this gunman, has taken any joy out of me loving Batman. The Batman movies, the cartoons, the comic books. It's just, I can't look at it. I went home and I saw my Batman stuff. I have Batman stuff up in my apartment and I just took it all down. I just shoved it away. It's like I can't even look at it anymore. Something I loved my entire life.
But now do you feel like you did, like even being into that was the wrong thing?
Yeah, it feels like something that I love so much caused so many people so much horror and misery that I feel guilty about it.
That's a major jump. So you really do blame it on the comic book genre?
I blame it. I blame it on guns in this country is what I blame it on. But I blame it on what this Batman did to people.
Let's move over here to Mike. Mike and Philly, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Ron, Fez, Pepper. Hey, I have an Ichiban for you guys. Okay, so in the last Batman movie, the Joker is setting a pile of money in front of the gangsters on fire, and a guy tries to stop him, and he goes, I'm a man of simple taste. I enjoy dynamite and gunpowder and gasoline. And he goes, you know what the common thing is? They're all cheap. Well, what he neglected to say was they're all fucking very easily available, too. No background checks, all online, bulkammo.com. This guy was planning for 2 months, and he had the brain power of Joker. Just all this destruction and devastation in a very small... One of his guns jammed. He had a backup. He was ready for this shit.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was more than prepared.
Yeah.
Now, did they say what his hope was with the booby-trapped apartment?
Yeah, I've read this morning.
Yeah.
he planned on setting his alarm to blast music at midnight so that the cops would come for a noise complaint, bust through the door, huge explosion, sets the whole fucking thing up, so that all the cops in Aurora would go there while he's lighting up the fucking theater and able to get out.
You know what's weird is like his downstairs neighbor did go up and complain, and she was beating on that door, that booby trap door, which is pretty fucking crazy, right?
Shit.
And all those neighbors that lived around him, they said, we don't know who he was. He lived there for 9 months. Yeah. No one really clocked him. No one got to know him.
Like a couple random people saw him like in a bar sometimes. Like, yeah, I had a beer with the guy.
You know what's weird? Like when they were describing his quiet ways, it was reminding me of the other guy we know that owns a lot of Batman stuff. Like all this stuff that they said was like Fez Whatley type stuff. Although Fez wants to change it. But I don't know why we think like the weirdest thing in the world is a loner. Like somebody who just wants to loan out a little bit.
Yeah, if when someone gets fucking weird or does something crazy, it's like, that guy's a loner, probably. That's the first thing we jump to, because the guys want to be around people.
Somebody, they hashtagged this the other night on Twitter, that they wanted Christian Bale to show up in a Batman costume and visit all the people. But I'm like, maybe the last thing any of those kids want to see is a fucking adult coming in wearing a costume.
Yeah, I don't think they have the best fucking memories of goddamn Batman or Bale.
And Christian Bale's got to be thrilled. He's never putting that damn suit on again.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a long time now before anyone does again. Well, I mean, if you're going to look at like a Jinx thing, last time the guy who played the Joker dies. Yeah. This time, no Joker, but some other guy dressed as the Joker or calling himself the Joker went around and wasted a bunch of people.
And had a Joker-esque plan fucking in place.
You know, we always like to say that when you catch criminals, they end up being closer to retarded than brilliant. And I have followed like serial killing things where the cops, we're talking about the guy being smart. And at the end of the day, he's just like a fucking idiot. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons why it's hard to catch him, because he didn't have an actual plan. Where this guy actually had an extremely high IQ, extremely had his plan in order, and the plan still kind of sucked at the end of the day. I mean, it did end up with, I'm just going to go in and shoot a bunch of unarmed people and then stand there.
Hang out in the parking lot.
You know, at some point, let's not act like this is a brilliant fucking thing that he pulled off. A brilliant thing would, hey, there's $50 million missing and no one knows who did it. That would be the impressive, brilliant plan. Let's go over to Brian. Brian, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, good morning there, Ron Fez Pepper. A few months ago, you ran a piece on the iBang about a guy in the Washington, D.C. area who dresses up as Batman and drives around in his own custom Batmobile, and he visits sick kids in the hospital, and he does charity work, and he does all kinds of things because he was inspired by the good that Batman does.
That's weird, because Batman never fucking visited kids in hospital.
He
normally
he
hides out till somebody will shine a light on a cloud that has his emblem on it, which is the weirdest thing I think ever.
Cell phone.
What are you going to do with all your comic book stuff?
I don't know. I took it all down. I boxed it up.
Jesus.
But are you getting rid of it, or you just don't want to see it for a while?
Sale.
I'm going to get rid of it.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of it, but right now, this past weekend, I just needed to not see it.
Maybe what we need to do is that you burn it in the street and call on other people. You'll be like
all right,
some crazy 1950s backlash person.
Come on, everyone, get the fucking Batman bonfire going. People will come.
It's just what happens in the comics and the movies. In the first Batman movie, at the end, you see Commissioner Gordon basically saying...
boxing up his Batman stuff and burning it?
Talking about escalation, where it's like, does Batman cause this crime? Does he stop this crime? Or does he just inspire it? Well, guess what? We got the answer last weekend in Colorado.
So you blame this all on Batman?
Yeah. That's the inspiration that someone took from it.
But you love the Batman your whole life.
I know, and I can't love it anymore. I can't look at it. I just can't even. I can't enjoy that. I can't go pick up a new Batman comic book.
What about a Daredevil?
Where there's some. No, I'm just done.
X-Men?
Because I'm never going to get into Marvel.
Oh, come on, just jump sides. Come on, it's fucking great.
Plus, what if a Marvel guy does something?
Some guy dressed as fucking Iron Man.
And I would still have to go into the comic book and look at all the Dark Knight stuff.
Bobby, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, buddies. I just wanted to suggest, Fezzy, why don't you do a little bit of good and either sell it or auction off all that stuff and then donate all the profits if you don't want it anymore.
Now, that's a nice idea, but does that keep evil in the world, Fez?
Oh,
Could you be giving it to someone or selling it to somebody, and then they go out and commit a crazy crime?
Right. What if I sell it to somebody who's just, a step away from being this Colorado Joker? Because I have a lot of Joker stuff. I have several issues of when the Joker got his own comic book.
No.
I think I have just about every one of those issues.
No. Disgusting.
Have you ever fantasized about being the Joker?
Yeah. Yep.
What was your fantasy?
No, my fantasy.
Jacking off on your sidekicks?
No, it wasn't that long ago. The Joker story, the original Joker story, is where he has this big event in his life, this traumatic event, I guess, being dropped into acid, and then he's completely free to be crazy. A lot of times, when I was thinking about coming out on the air, thought that could be my Joker moment, where it's a big event, it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but it would be totally liberating. I was comparing myself to the Joker in that.
I have no idea what he's rambling about. Do you understand him at all, Hicks?
I guess, instead of being free to go crazy, you'll be free to go gay?
I don't know what it means. Mike, you're on the Run of Fez show. Mike, going once, twice. Here's Jarrett in Massachusetts. You're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie B. Grandma Fezzi said some nutty shit in his life, but this takes the cake. Fezzi, I will offer right now to buy all of your Batman and Joker stuff from you. You set the price. I'll let you know if it's what I'm willing to pay.
$31,000.
$31,000.
How much do you think you've invested in your comic book collection, Fez?
Oh, probably, $100,000 at least.
What the fuck?
Really?
Over the years?
Yes.
Holy shit.
The stuff that you have in your apartment.
Let's see. That stuff, I've probably got about 10 grand there.
Well, where did the other 90 grand go?
Just from buying stuff, giving it away, changing some things, selling some comic books, moving things around.
I think he's talking crazy. I don't think there's been 100 grand out there.
Good God.
So you would price your stuff at home right now that you're getting rid of at $10,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
God damn, Fez.
I had no idea.
Holy shit.
I know that you had some cells and stuff like that are probably collectibles, but I didn't think we were looking at that amount.
That's crazy, dude. Maybe you should destroy it.
No, that seems crazy now.
Yeah, what the fuck? Let me a couple of fucking shitty comic books.
Paul, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah.
You're a dick. First of all, the fact that you're saying that you can't watch Batman anymore because of all of this is ridiculous.
Why? What makes that ridiculous? The fact that I was moved by a horrific tragedy in Colorado.
What? Just because some guy went and killed a bunch of people doesn't mean that you can't watch Batman. That's ridiculous. Does that
No, it's not ridiculous. I don't find any joy in Batman.
Dude, come on. You're a Batman fanatic for how many years?
My entire life.
All right, so now because of this incident, you're going to tell me you can never watch a Batman movie again.
Yeah.
He's done with it. He already said. Now,
Guess what? I don't go down to Ground Zero either.
I was just down there over the weekend.
Were you?
Yeah. You know what's really funny about that area? Well, I was down in Tribeca, and I walked over to look at the new building going up. But what's weird is, there's tons of people there. And not a New Yorker anywhere to be found.
Wow.
Just a bunch of people in shorts and matching colored T-shirts. And they all showed up, and there's like a 9/11 store down there. that they were fucking buying like 9/11 memorabilia.
There's 9/11 gear, like
Yeah,
keychains,
hats,
whatever.
T-shirts,
Like,
you
never
name it.
forget.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Why would you?
I don't know. It
9/11
seemed very
keychain.
strange to me, and there was this huge line to get in to whatever, I guess, the memorial. And I walked around it. It's very weird if I said that because I haven't been down that area in years and years and years. I was just down there on Saturday.
That's fucking weird.
And I could not believe the crowds they draw. And none of the crowds are anyone that, lives here in the city.
So basically, it's fucking Times Square. So it's
Yeah,
south.
it looks like Times Square South. And a lot of girls are posing with duck faces in front of the night. I wish I was making it up, and I don't judge them because I know they want to
They gotta look hot.
look sexy, but it was really weird. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's Frank. Frank, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey.
I just wanted to point out the similarities to Fez taking down all of his Batman stuff to American History X after Ed Norton gets fucked in the ass by a Nazi. Does Fez feel like he's been fucked in the ass by Batman?
I feel like the whole thing has been destroyed.
You know what you ought to replace all your Batman stuff with?
What?
Penn State gear. And just put up a lot of Joe Paterno stuff.
Lion, baby.
A lot of Nittany Lion stuff.
There's a statue available.
Is it?
No,
Is it sitting in a trash can somewhere outside of State College? Just fucking dumped in there. Someone driving by. Hey!
Get
We
this.
could use that.
You got a dolly?
Tony, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie B. Every time there's a big event like this, I hear Fez try to make a case as to why this affected him more than anybody else. And it just seems like he's making another excuse. I watched Batman. This happened at a Batman show, therefore I'm devastated. I'm going to take it extra personal. I just don't understand why it always seems to go this way. Every time something happens, it always seems to be an affront to him and only him. And he has
You're ridiculous. You are a maniac.
I don't think I am.
This is horrible what happened. And you're trying to make it about me. You're ridiculous.
No, that's not the case, Fez.
You are pathetic.
I am not. But
All right, I'm going to let you go because I don't want Fez this to keep calling you names over and over. And
Because he
Who's
knows
that?
I'm right.
That doesn't look like him.
Oh, you know who that is? That's the guy who killed his wife and baby, his pregnant wife, years ago.
Oh, shit.
What was that fucking dude?
Peterson?
Scott Peterson, I think.
Wow, he fucking... Wow.
Yeah, he aged up.
Death Row fucking ages,
It
apparently.
does. It does, because you don't get any kind of good air, no sun, and it's like almost like if you forget and leave your plant in a really shady place and you go away. Let's go over here to Mikey B in Arkansas. You're on Run of Fez.
Hi, how's it going? I apologize, I got laryngitis today, but I did some research over the weekend comparing the UK versus the United States. Now, Fez wants us to go without arms whatsoever, and just the military and the police have them all. However, according to what I looked at, that the UK supports anywhere between 6 and 8% more violent crimes than times violent crimes in the United States. And in a direct comparison of New York to London, they have, roughly about the same population. You're talking a straight up 8 times.
Yeah, but all right, first of all, you have to go back and look at what their violent crimes are. Are they fist fights or are they guys fucking killing each other? There's no way they're even close to our murder stuff. And the Times had a piece up, I'll try to get this up on the iBang at some point, of how much further ahead we are than other kind of first world countries. But the amazing thing is we've dropped so far from the 70s. I mean, we're still ahead, but we were like fucking light years ahead. And between 75 to I don't know, mid 80s, we were just crazy.
Fucking lighting it up.
Yeah, I mean, there was no one close to us. We were bigger than the game itself. 866 Ron Zero Fez. PK, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Hey, Mr. B. I was reading a book on Tarantino interviews last night, and I just ran into this quote on violence when someone asked him in 1992 about Reservoir Dogs. And in answering it, he said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. My answer is that I can't worry about that. As an artist, violence is part of my talent. If I start thinking about society or what one person is doing or someone else, I'm on handcuffs.
Yeah, I certainly, let's say this. I would never get around to fucking blaming the filmmakers because there's a market there. There is a market for these kinds of films. The bigger market than anything else. And before we had these kind of violent films, you know, we had either gangster films or cowboy films. We had the fucking Dirty Harry films. We want to see guys get blown away.
In the most violent, ridiculous way that they can get away with.
But I think it's crazy not to look into that. I think it's crazy for the audience not to wonder about it and not to take time. I think it's crazy for people who write about film not to write about that and wonder about it. And I think the studios need to think about it as well. Now, we won't, because even after 9/11, how many times have we blown up New York City since then? But at the fucking end of the day, Hollywood just gives us what we crave. Now, I will admit, a lot of people who used to write about film now are kind of bagmen for the studios, where they're part of the fucking hype crew rather than people writing about what goes on in the studios.
They're just getting taglines on the movie trailers and the posters.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a crazy deal there that people should stop and reflect and bring it up a little bit. I don't think that's nuts. Doesn't mean you have to make any major changes, but you should know why you're fucking lustful for the stuff that you're lustful about. I don't know why we're so much more comfortable going to fucking torture films in this country than fuck films.
Oh, people love the Hostels and, you know, every other fucking...
They're fucking bananas to me. I mean, I wouldn't even dream of sitting down and watching fucking Saul. That's just insane to me. Pips is hiding his eyes because he's fucking lives it. Let's go over here to John. John in Ohio, you're on Manifest.
Hey there, Ronnie B. Maybe Fezzi wants to ban motivational speakers, seeing how 21 idiots burned their feet at Anthony Robbins' meeting.
All right, we have that up on the iBank, too. People walking across red hot coals, and they burn their feet. It's an old fucking carny trick, by the way, coal walking, but there's two things that you have to do. One, you have to let it burn a little bit so you get the ash on the top of it. And two, you got to keep moving. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to walk at a pretty good pace.
If you walk fast enough, it won't move long enough to hit the heat.
Yeah,
picture, right?
It's almost like when you more or less put your finger on the stove and you go, ow, that's hot. But if you leave it on the stone, you'll fucking get, third-degree burns. So I think between either A, they didn't let the coals get that amount of ash on the top of it, or B, he's doing so many people in this that a couple of them slowed down and they started burning up their feet. Either way, I think it's fucking hysterical. And by the way, it has nothing to do with mind over matter. The mind over matter is that something that doesn't appear to be safe, particularly when you do it at night, because if you do it at night, all you see is red hot coals.
It's like fucking lava.
So
much.
Even if you got the gimmick that I told you, you're still like, fuck, I don't know. I'm going to burn the shit out of myself.
Don't worry, it's science.
But, so there's no mind over matter. As a matter of fact, Richard Bandler said this thing when Robbins was doing that. He goes, I'd rather see them just walk over unlit coals and burn their feet. Then I would think that you were really put them in trance. Let's go over here to, I got a spy report now.
Spy report, spy report, spy report, spy report.
They're going to start live streaming. It starts in about 5 minutes.
Oh, shit.
This thing coming out. Now, we're going to watch on the news, and we will try to live stream at the same time. But we definitely want to clock this guy. Scrambler.
Oh, Travis.
This is not the Scrambler.
This is not the Scrambler. You got the wrong one. I was just calling to say how the hell can Fezzi sit there and say that he's not making things about himself when he's taking everything from 9/11 to people hitting deer on I-80 about him. Sitting there arguing with the guy, and that's all he fucking does.
Well, how does he make it about himself?
Can't answer it.
Your mouth breathed.
Sorry, I broke up. I didn't hear you.
I said, how does Fez make it about himself? What's driving you crazy about him today?
Okay. He says he can't watch a movie that he's enjoyed his entire, since it came out, because of something horrible has happened. It has nothing to do with that movie whatsoever. Yeah, maybe the character's the same, but not that. And then, like I said,
That's to you.
Yeah, but first of all, not even to that. You can't lie and say it doesn't have anything to do with it. The guy planned it around this whole movie and, was basically playing a Joker angle. So, yes, it does. That doesn't mean you blame the filmmaker. But, there he is.
Oh, shit.
There he is in court.
He's downed out.
He does look downed out. We've got this up. On the live feed, his hair looks so nutty.
Daniel King, D-A-N-I-E-L-K-I-N-G, and Tamara Brady, T-A-M-A-R-A-B-R-A-D-Y.
Why would his lawyer smile?
Colorado State Public Defender's Office, appearing for Mr. Holmes, who appears in custody.
Thank you. Good morning. Mr. Holmes, this matter comes on to what we call an
All right, it's up on TV now, too.
Deputy, if you please step back. You have a right to remain silent. If you make any statements that can be used against you, you have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you could not afford one of the statutory guidelines, I would appoint one to represent you at no cost to yourself. Any plea you make must be voluntary, not the result of any undue influence or coercion. Typically, you have a right to be advised of the charges. You have a right to be
He can barely
advised
stay
of the
awake.
charges. The duty judge has made a preliminary determination of probable cause to believe you're committed the offense of first-degree murder, which is a Class 1 felony under Colorado law. Ordinarily, individuals are entitled to bail. Given the nature of the charges, you are currently being held on a no-bond hold. You also have a right to have a jury trial and preliminary hearing to determine whether there's probable cause to believe that you're the person that committed the offense.
Look how orange the hair is, yellow, red.
Judge, we've advised Mr. Holmes thoroughly, and we've waived any formal or further advisement at this point.
Thank you, Mr. King. Pursuant to CRS 18-1-1001, we are to enter a mandatory protection order. Any violation of the protection order can constitute a new criminal offense and or contempt of court. It is the order of the court: you shall not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you are charged with committing, shall vacate the home of the victim, stay away from the home of the victims, and stay away from any other location the victims are likely to be found.
Is he sleeping?
Shall refrain from contacting, directly or indirectly communicating with the victims, shall not possess or control firearm or other weapon, shall not possess or consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances, and is to further order the court you are not to commit any new offenses. Ms. Pearson, if you'd approach, please.
Get up, Beaker.
I've just signed a mandatory protection order. If you'd tender a copy to Mr. Holmes and acknowledge his receipt on the record.
He's got a fucking look on his face like me when I was in school. Just half passed out, in and out. Look at him, he's sleeping.
Yeah, you can't keep his fucking eyes open.
Charges, what's your request at this point?
We are asking for an extended period of time. The 72 hours is essentially local rule. Rule 5 only requires it without unnecessary delay, so we would be requesting until next Monday, July 30th.
Okay.
Judge, we do not object to that. If I may approach, however, I do have an application just completed. If I can get your signature.
You may.
If I may approach the bench, look at that fucker.
An amendment to the protection order that lists all of the victims in this case.
Thank you. Court has signed the application to the appointment of public defender. Public defender is appointed.
Your Honor, I recommend we shoot him in the forehead right here. Why waste our time?
This Monday, July 30th, 9:30 in this division.
So this is going to next Monday now?
Looks like it.
Let him get some sleep.
Given the nature of the charges and the likely voluminous pleadings, I'm entering an initial case management order.
How's this chick sit next to him without grabbing his windpipe?
Council received a copy of that order yet?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Pearson, did you receive a copy?
She's just in the world of shit.
Now, is he also a doctor dressed like that? Is there something we don't know? Is he Dr. Joker?
He was going for a PhD.
All people's filings will be captioned with a P with a sequential number thereafter. Defense will be a D with a sequential number thereafter, and I will identify my filings or orders with a C. In that we've had some filings already. The initial case management order, which I've captioned C2, does list the orders and motions that have been filed thus
How
far.
did he show up with that hair on dating sites and think he had a fucking
Make
chance?
sure I'm not missing anything.
He was looking for the freaks.
So far, we've got C1, which is the EMC decorum order that I issued. We've got the P1, which is the motion to seal the search warrant.
Those are the best
affidavit
listeners.
and orders and case file, which was filed by the people. I did grant that. We've got outstanding D1, which is a motion for access to and preservation of the crime scene, which relates to access by the defense and their experts to the movie theater. We'll address that in a moment. We've got D2, a motion to limit pre-trial publicity.
Yeah, good job with that.
Along with that motion, I did receive a proposed order. However, I'm inclined to go ahead and just track Rule 3.6 and 3.8 of the Rules of Professional Conduct. Ms. Pearson, the people.
TMZ's feeds jumping around.
That's for just that. We
There it goes again.
Sure.
We're actually ahead of the TV on the feeds.
Court will be issuing the order granting the pretrial publicity. We'll make sure counsel gets a copy.
Judge, does the court, there is some difference between the proposed order by
Defense.
Like the other day, he felt like he was in a movie. Now he feels like he's in a fucking Law and Order episode. Can we get that back on, or are we lost?
That's TMZ. There, they.
Okay.
You may. Request for hearing. I did grant the request for expanded media coverage. Request for hearing. I did grant the request for expanded media coverage. I've not been a request for expanded media coverage at this time.
So even the TV's fucking up.
I'm guessing that they have one feed
Yeah.
from the room and it's going to every TV station. So if the feed there fucks up, it fucks up on the TV stations too.
Gotcha. Well, the hair looks just fucking insane.
Yeah, and just the eyes, are just down at times, but then bug-eyed. It's fucking bizarre.
Judge, we're going to stand on our motion to object to that. If the court wishes to hold hearing on it, we're certainly available to do that.
Can we do that forthwith upon the receipt of the motion? Do you have any objection to that?
That would be appropriate. That would be appreciated.
Thank you. Ms. Chambers, do you have any objection to that procedure? Ms. Pearson?
He seems to have little interest of anything that's going on his around him.
The motion for access to the crime position on that.
No, Pepper, when you look at that, are you surprised you're not sitting next to him since you do a Saturday night show with him?
Listen, that's the Joker.
Look at the hair and tell me there's any difference.
Not David Dahl. David Dahl has one color of red. That guy's got at least three going on in that courtroom.
Anything further?
Whose hair looks better to you, though?
Same with the Joker did. I'm saying David Dahl's hair is
Yeah.
looking much better.
Let's just try to stop even worrying about the sound right now. Because it's just too fucked up.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually, and this thing must be getting hammered, fucking, because everyone in the world, at least everyone in the United States, wants to see this feed.
Well, why can't they? I mean, it's not given out to everyone, right? It's just given out to the news outlets.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
So that shouldn't fuck with their feed there, coming out of there. He's got such a look on his face that he looks like, why did I even do it? Like, even though people are saying he's crazy or evil, if you would have had fucking just 5 minutes to talk to the dude, you could have talked him out of it. You could have talked this fucking dude out of it if somebody just would have known what he was up to.
Go back to your apartment and take down those booby traps, dude.
You know what? Use that same money that you're stockpiling shit out to take a fucking trip.
Just get a hooker or something. I don't know. Get that nut off. They also allude that this might have been spurred by a bad breakup. That's the fucking post. Who the fuck knows?
Well, imagine how that fucking girl feels right now.
It's your fault, lady.
Your fucking pussy could have saved fucking lives.
Maybe that's why he had joined those. Like, he joined Adult Friend Finder, like, early July, and he also fucking joined Match.com.
Yeah, and that's when he started getting guns and shit, they said.
Yeah, right around that time.
Now, the Match.com stuff is up, and apparently somebody got matched with him even after he did this deed.
This chick got, I guess they'll have like just list of matches that fucking gel with your profile, and this guy's fucking crazy red-haired picture came up.
Now, the other weird thing is there's been 20 guys that have tried to act like they're him since then, they said. So the feds have been telling the media, don't believe everything out there, because a lot of people are uploading that picture to a lot of banana shit.
Great. Good work. Makes things a lot easier.
You know somebody's going to end up with an avatar on the fucking iBang where they'll have to be fucking canceled.
I'm the Joker dude.
Joker dude would actually be the name. When you look at him, Fez, does that even make you want to get rid of your fucking comic books even more?
Yeah, he looks like a comic book supervillain sitting in the courtroom. He might as well be the actual Joker sitting there.
Story just came out that the Joker was an unusually bad intern for some fucking Salk Institute that he worked at.
Did it also say that he liked Star Wars?
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that was, I think, one of his favorite movies from his friend finder profile.
You got to get rid of your Star Wars stuff too.
Yeah,
and just put everything in the Penn State stuff.
All right, dragging his ass out now.
There he goes.
Back in the fucking Rape Central.
They had to take a fucking razor to his fucking hair anyway.
Oh, it's kind of like, that's his thing, though. Like, that's, you know.
And then let him come in as Lex Luthor. Have you seen the Batman movie yet?
No, I didn't go for it. I didn't try
you see it
this weekend.
Who are interns?
Kokomo Joe, back from his bed back, and Anna.
See if either one of them saw it.
No, they didn't see it.
See? That's what happens.
That's right.
Everybody thinks it's a little too killy to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my mom. She was like, I heard that news. I know you always like to go to the movies first. I'm like, Mom, first of all, I'm fucking 2,000 miles away from there. So, still.
Copycats.
Why don't you wait till it gets on TV?
It'll be a while.
Does he look exactly like, does this Joker look exactly like the other Joker to you?
Yeah, he looks exactly like the Joker would look like.
The fucking color's fading that hair, though. It ain't gonna last throughout the entire fucking trial.
Do they let him have hair dye?
They should. How are we gonna recognize him if he doesn't have the red hair?
That's true.
I don't want to see his roots showing and shit. It's gonna fucking fuck everything up.
Now, Blagojevich is in jail in Colorado, and they said he's not going to get his shoe polish hair dye there.
What's he doing there?
He used hair dye? That was natural.
How come he's in Colorado?
I don't know whether it's just he had to go to some sort of special federal pen or what happened. But yeah, he's in Colorado.
I like that you're using the word pen now. After Penn State. You just went from Penn State to State Penn, my friend. This time the Joker's not wild. You're going to be looking at the death penalty. Who's laughing now, Joker? Oh, that's right. My balls.
Wow, that's awesome.
A friend of mine was very upset that Bale and Catwoman and Christopher Nolan all come out and said stuff. And he said to me, that makes them look guilty. I go, I think it would look worse if they just blew it off. They've got to say hearts and prayers are with the fucking people, or else they look like they don't give a shit. I mean, everyone's saying it.
Yeah,
the Westboro Baptist Church is showing up to pray for the dead. And they actually have a sign that says, God bless the Joker, or God sent the Joker.
Oh, what? That's fucking crazy, man. At least they get around. I mean, they love fucking bouncing all over.
Oh, they see the world.
I wonder if this fucking guy, if they did pump full of drugs, or this is just reality coming crashing down on him. That's why he just looks so fucking out of it.
It's just straight depression. You would think that if he wanted this so bad, he would be playing it up a little bit, Charlie Manson style.
Because when all the reports say he's spitting on fucking cops and spitting everywhere.
Right. He looks drugged there. We're going to drug you so you can get a fair trial. I mean, what could be a fair trial? What do they get to say? That he's a lunatic?
Insanity defense. That's
right? But how could an insane person fucking booby trap something?
Well,
I mean, most sane people I know couldn't come up with a fucking booby trap.
I can maybe carve a stick and put it in the woods like fucking Nam.
And shit on it, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Always shit on it so they get diseased. Eric in Houston, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Yeah, I just wanted to disagree a little bit. I thought that Bale and all those guys canceling the French premiere, I thought that was weak. I thought it was just like, bowing under this one lone madman. Just like, fuck that guy. If he wants to
but
do
you
that,
can't.
then that's his
But
own thing.
well, all right, you look crazy, Fez.
Yeah, I mean, people act like, you can't show up and have a big Paris premiere with
red carpet,
with the red carpet, the flashbulbs going off, smiling, waving. Nobody feels like having that party. It has nothing to do with letting the Joker win here. People just don't feel like celebrating Batman.
Well, that's fine. I mean, the mood is going to be different. It's going to be somber, but at the same time, they're standing up to this fucking asshole and saying, you know what, fuck you. If you want to murder some people in Colorado, that's not going to deter me from going out and doing my
going out and having a party and enjoying myself. It makes no sense.
I think from a corporate point of view, it would look tacky. It really would. I mean, even the studio said, look, we're not going to post the numbers. We want to talk about numbers. That means, Hicks, our little bet is off.
What?
Because there's no way.
They still have the numbers. They still have the fucking technical numbers. They haven't released them yet.
Not really. Not
They
really.
do.
So
Deadline.
our bet is off.
Oh, come on.
Or else we should all say we took the Avengers now.
I think there's still there's fucking.
Here's our buddy Bill in Jersey. Hey, Bill.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, this isn't our buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, no. I was just wondering why everybody feels the need to point the finger at like everything else that this kid did, as opposed to just he did it.
Yeah, we get that he's the fucking retard. No doubt about it.
Like you can't control what goes on in somebody's head, even though you got like gun laws in place. The dude went about it. He got it all legit. I don't know if he just snapped or he's just a fucking idiot or what, but. How many more roadblocks are you going to put in the way to people who actually enjoy those things?
We know that he did it, but there's no reason why you can't stop and say, why did he do it? What came into his life that made a nuclear biologist?
And the other part of it is, why is it so enjoyable for us to see New York and Los Angeles and Chicago blown up constantly? What is this thrill that we get of watching mass destruction, and then when there is any kind of destruction, everyone is appalled? It's very fucking strange. It's insane. And I remember when you and I, Hicks, were saying to the Avengers, like, well, how many fucking people in New York got killed? I don't feel overly good.
Wrecked the entire city.
Yeah. When we see a building that would have been about 4 blocks over from us destroyed during this, and yet we're supposed to be cheering for the Avengers, and they don't seem to give a shit about people inside. There's a thing supposedly that I think Japanese cinema might do this or something, where if there is a murder, they have to show the repercussions. They have to show people being upset about it. They have to show people, what it really takes when something like this happens. And obviously we don't have this in the American films at all. But
if that came into American films would stop having violence for the most part in them.
But we have this whole thing in this country, like, these kind of explosion movies, they're great. You can just turn your brain off and watch things explode. That seems fucking nuts. Maybe turning our brain off is the worst fucking thing we've ever done. Let's go over here to Mike. Mike, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, what's up, guys? And this is a terrible thing to say, but is there any guy in the world that's happier about this than Fred Willard right now? I mean, no one is even talking about him whatsoever.
Well, you brought him back up now, just when everything was cool for him.
Yeah, I forgot.
You had to fucking dime him out.
That guy
so
was
the guy
jacking.
stroked his fucking cock.
In a
So what?
Theater. He was trying to get the cum out. That's all.
Let's go over here to Randy in St. Paul. You're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, morning, guys. What's really strange about the whole thing is Colorado has concealed carry. So theoretically, anyone in the theater who was packing could have taken the guy out. But the theater chain apparently has a corporate-wide ban on weapons. So it's like, well, because what if somebody did use that? Now the shooter who takes out the shooter runs the risk of a lawsuit.
The shooter who takes out the shooter. Well, that's probably what they worry about. They don't want gunfights at their place. But there's a lot of places that say no weapons inside.
Now the question becomes, are these firms that are saying that basically, flipping the bird to the feds?
Well, let's face it. If somebody was in there with a concealed weapon, they didn't stand a chance. I mean, this guy came in firing a fucking assault rifle
With smoke
grenades going off. So anyone acting like someone in the back could have fucking popped them, that's just crazy. They wouldn't have stood a fucking chance. I mean, a cop could have been sitting in there, and he wouldn't have stood a chance.
It was the full body armor and shit, like neck guards and what the fuck.
866-RUN-0-FEZ. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. Let's go over here to James. James, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, I got a question, man.
Yeah.
Fez got his Joker for the Batman movie. Why is he so upset?
Oh, jeez. Oh. James, come on, dude.
I mean, that's all he's been talking about. He wants his Joker. He wants Joker.
No, never said that.
661.
God. I would... Ryan, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, I'm not trying to be funny here or anything, but the picture that they've been showing all weekend of him, he looks exactly like a young Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, that's awful to say.
Come on.
He does.
He looks nothing like Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum's a national treasure.
It's a great man.
Jeff Goldblum basically saved us on Independence Day.
That's right. He
And
had
his
that
laptop.
fucking Mac laptop, and he figured the code out of the aliens. Look, this fucking guy ain't gonna be in The Fly.
Never. This guy will never get to do a movie now.
He's never gonna work with Cronenberg. That's fucking off the table.
No, Cronenberg doesn't want any part of him. Probably the only person that he could work now is I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna do a Yoli joke, but I'm like, you know what? Why bother?
He's gotta kill himself.
Nate and Maine, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, did you see the reports that this guy apparently applied to a gun range, and when the owner of the gun range called, he got his voicemail and said that the voicemail greeting was so disturbing, he decided right then to reject the guy's application.
It's a very interesting thing that the gun range would turn him down, but not the people selling fucking weapons. Yeah. No one selling weapons turned him down. And, of course, the other stuff just got done online. But the gun range is like, whoa, we don't want that weirdo here. He sounds dangerous. Bob, Illinois, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, first, I'd like to say that was a fantastic good match with Tom Davis, but
Oh, thank you. And I think we're going to run it again tomorrow.
that was good. I really like it. But
Thank you.
I really do honestly feel bad for Fez because all this does is give him another reason to hate himself, and it's just really sad.
Do you hate yourself and your hobbies?
I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted that I've spent so much time enjoying this.
No.
All right, let us just peek in a little bit. And Fez, why don't you have a little talk with Fez about the hobbies that he's had all these years and what they've done?
You had this Batman fixation.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to myself.
Well, you should say Fez first so we know who you're talking to.
Fez, you had this Batman fixation since you were a child. You've always thought that this is harmless fun, that this doesn't affect anybody, that you can just enjoy your comic books. It's one way where you feel like, all right, here's a fantasy I can have. You have a lot of trouble in your own life, Fez, maneuvering through life, but here's where you can look at some superheroes as they beat the villains. Well, no, look what's happened. Look what's happened because of this Batman culture and someone else who was obviously into it as much as you were. Now Batman is just a symbol of horror and murder and lives absolutely ruined. How can you sit there, go and pick up a comic book, a Batman comic book, and enjoy it, knowing that people have lost sons, daughters, children, that there's no way you can enjoy this anymore. It's disgusting. Looking at it really makes me nauseous. And you should feel the same way, Fez.
Should Fez have stopped 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
You should, yeah. This Batman stuff should have been left to the children.
He's changed.
This is what happens now. I thought you thought it was harmless, Fez. It's not.
Is part of this that has you so upset is that you relate to this nut? That maybe you have the same kind of lifestyle that he has and only one thing separates you, and that's that he acted out?
Yes. Yeah. Because, I mean...
Do you feel like you could have been on this road?
Yeah, because other than the booby traps, our apartments most likely look exactly alike.
Just found soda bottles and...
So this scared you a little bit that you could do this?
Yeah.
See, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Because, I feel nutty sometimes.
No.
I had like a thing of Sundowners last night. Ugh. And it just starts to weird me out. Is how many steps away from my nuttiness am I from his nuttiness?
Half.
See, that's what it felt like when all of a sudden Batman was the central theme here.
Now this makes a lot more sense. See, none of us got it. We thought that maybe you were just ashamed of Batman, but I think...
am ashamed of liking all of it because look at where it takes him, and it could have taken me.
I think what scared you now is the fantasy world that you're living in. That maybe sometimes at home you jump around and stuff. That makes a little more sense.
I had no idea.
Yeah. He looks at the Joker now and he thinks he could have turned into the Joker.
Remember when my hair was that exact same color? When I had the mohawk?
When
on
was
57th Street?
Nope.
I had the red, orange, and yellow mohawk.
What for?
I don't remember why. I'm sure it was a bet I lost.
I don't even remember it. Let's go over here to our buddy Tom in Madison. You're on Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Fezzy. How you doing?
Yeah.
I tell you, Ronnie, I don't want to be the blowhard fucking, but, they've been desensitizing us, desensitizing our kids, and then you couple that with the fucking corporatization. You couldn't pick up a Mountain Dew can within the last 2 weeks without seeing Batman on a goddamn Burger King Happy Meal. I mean, it's craziness. And money, I mean, not that money is what drove this nut. We're never going to stop the bad gumball in the bunch. It's just going to happen. I'm an NRA member, have been for my whole life, and I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe just something should be done, whether it's private background checks or background checks on private sales instead of only on, gun shop sales or what. But something, I mean, I don't know if it stopped the nutty gumball, but God, the corporate, the money from Penn State, and the money that the protection, and it was all about protecting the money, and this corporate shit they ram down our throat as entertainment and pass off as real. It's just getting frustrating, Ron, I swear.
All right, thanks, Tom. There is I would say that we're desensitized to fictional violence, or anything we see on TV, but it seems like when it happens in real life, when you see something like this, everyone did stop hard. No one acted like...
I fucking woke up to this shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't... Pips told me. I walked in, like, you hear about the shooting? What? Huh? What the fuck are you talking about?
What's really funny is, like, there were people over the weekend I talked to that had no idea about it. Like, people on my block, and my sister-in-law was going, like, what? Who got shot?
Everybody.
And then she was all stupid, like, what do you mean Batman shot someone? I'm like, forget it. Just fucking turn on your TV. I don't know. I felt like they were Will Smith in Independence Day, went out and got their mail, and everybody else was staring up into the sky. But you might be a lot happier living without the news. Because we all know the story. There's not a lot we can do about it.
Well, no, now everyone's just obsessed with finding out why, just finding every fucking detail possible. I was fucking locked into the news all weekend long. Fucking looking for updates constantly. Sadly, I guess. Fucking
How
Joker.
about how Armand White was ahead of the fucking curve on this?
Yeah.
He was calling it really dark and cynical.
Nihilistic.
Yeah. And he turned out to be 100% fucking correct. Let's go over here to Kate in Cincinnati. You're on Manifest.
Hey guys, I was just wondering why we're generalizing one person, one dead egg mistake to the masses, and we're saying things like we enjoy watching cities go down in movies. Well, we know it's fiction. The mass public can look at those things and not say, "Well, I need to go do this now," or feel really affected because it's not real. It's just a movie, and there's going to be people
Right, I get that it's not real, but you wouldn't sit around and watch rape scenes for enjoyment. There's plenty of things that we won't watch a fucking dog get shot if it's a fucking joke without it. That movie will tube. And yet we love seeing mass amounts of people killed. We love seeing mass amounts of people killed. And I don't know anyone who doesn't.
When you first saw fucking New York get destroyed, it was the fucking pop for it. It was like, holy shit, this is crazy that someone's able to put that together.
So the effects were amazing. It really did look like a wave crushed over fucking 8 million people. It's fantastic. I was eating popcorn. We're fucking nuts. Let's go over here to Gus in Houston. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Ron, Fez. How you guys doing?
Good.
Man, I run a small chain of movie theaters down here in Houston, kind of like the Alamo Drafthouse, dine-in theater type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a weird mood this weekend, like, especially Friday. Like, people were almost afraid to enjoy the movie. And I know they haven't released the numbers, but I know that, from what we've heard in the industry, it's going to end up being like 170 million, maybe 180 million, where they expected it to be over 200. But
I think it's pretty closer to 160.
Really?
That's what I hear.
I mean, we took a hit versus what we thought we were going to do for sure. It was we brought in extra security and stuff, and people, in my opinion, and I know it's kind of shitty to say this, but it's a false sense of security. You know what I mean? Like, I have two cops there. Theater holds 1,100 people. A guy can walk in and know. It was just really, really strange, Ron. And my other thing was, I feel bad for Fez, man. I listened to the show for a couple of years, and I just can't. It seems like any time he has a chance to self-mutilate, I guess is the kind of way to put it, he just takes it. He takes any chance that he can make it to where he's beating himself up for liking a comic book. That's so, I mean, bad word, but so retarded. Like, why do you feel like that, Fez?
Awful.
Why do you feel like you have to beat yourself up at every turn?
I can't feel good about looking at Batman on the cover of a comic book. It just it doesn't remind me of getting a comic book when I was a kid or being excited about the Tim Burton Batman coming out. It doesn't remind me of those things anymore.
Fez, there's been shootings in colleges, Virginia Tech. There's been shootings in high schools. There's been shootings in malls. Does that mean the we're like not supposed to enjoy those things?
Fez has stopped learning.
Yeah, and
if that means anything.
And when I think of Virginia Tech, I don't think of Michael Vick. I think of those shootings. If I hear the words Virginia Tech,
when you think of Michael Vick, do you think of dog killing?
Yeah.
I mean, Fez, you can't look at everything in a negative way, man. It's such a bad way to go through life, and I know you've gone through life like this, and it's kind of late in the game to kind of change the way you feel, but you just can't. It's not healthy, Fez. And people tell you all the time, people on the radio, I'm sure Ron tells you, I'm sure those close to you tell you, this is not a healthy way, Fez.
I'm just not capable of looking at 12 people dead in a Colorado movie theater and seeing the bright side.
You're taking it completely the wrong way. Again, you're taking it the negative way. I'm not telling you to look at it the bright side. I'm telling you can't beat yourself up for liking a comic book because somebody got shot because some idiot went in there with a gun and shot up a bunch of people. Like, I didn't want to go to work on Friday, but not because 12 people got shot in Colorado. It's because I was afraid of a copycat. But man, I can't just stop my life.
The weird thing is here is like the theater has always been like a place where you do feel safe. I mean, you're sitting there in the dark with strangers. And I've never had the thought of, actually, the only one thing that was ever in the back of your head from when you were a kid is the fire, when someone would say about fire in a crowded theater. But other than that, I never once thought a gunman could come in here and start shooting people. Never dawned on me.
But, I mean, you're naked. Like, it kind of shows, obviously it's not the magnitude of 9/11, but it kind of shows how vulnerable we are in everyday life.
Yes, there's no such thing as absolute safety. And let me tell you something. You could be strapped. You could be carrying all kinds of guns, and it won't stop a guy from coming up behind you and shooting you in the back of the head. Cops have been shot in the back of the head. It's not going to save you from a sniper. It's not going to save you from a piano falling on your head. We've seen that in Bugs Bunny films.
Yes.
Pianos will fall from the sky.
And crush your fucking body, and it's over.
Or a plane could hit you. You're not completely safe. You're never going to be completely safe. Let's go over here to Aaron, Indianapolis. You're on Fez.
Hey, guys. Just want to say I love the show. I've missed a lot of work listening to you guys in my car. It's already been said, but I think Fez is too hard on himself. I mean, I understand him wanting to sell all of this stuff. It doesn't remind him of good things anymore. But this guy could have picked. From what I heard, he just picked this movie because there was going to be a lot of people there. He could have done this during the Avengers.
No, it's not true. He picked this film because he was somehow connected with the Batman. There was no chance that he was going to walk in and do this in a Pixar film. And it's just a lie to say any different. I'm not blaming the Batman people. And trust me when I say, there's been a lot more fucking violent films than this one that I've enjoyed and would even list to some of my favorite films. But it would also be a lie to act like, this was just a coincidence. He did have some kind of fucking Batman hard-on. So what?
He called himself the Joker.
That's what drove him.
A lot of people have written to me about the bearded Joker. I'm not going to replay that today. Let's go over here to Jack in Queens. You're on Run Fez.
Hey, Fez. This whole thing has got about as much to do with Batman as 9/11 had to do with American Airlines or Boeing. All right, well, let's stop it at that. Did air travel change since then?
Yes.
100%. So, yeah.
But we didn't stop taking American Airlines. American Airlines didn't go out of business.
No one said that the studios are going out of business, but it's not a crazy thing to say should they do stuff differently. And we've had copycat stuff with killers before. Now, Stanley Kubrick, he yanked Clockwork Orange out of the theaters. And then it was decades before it showed there again. I happen to love the fucking film.
It's awesome.
But there were some copycat people with that. Of course, whatever the crazy fucking John Hinckley thing with Taxi Driver and Ronald Reagan, which to this day I still can't fucking figure out. To this day I don't fucking get the connection that he made there. And let's go over here to... Here's Stump. Stumpy, you're on the Run of Fest show.
Hey, not to kind of minimize these people's deaths at all, but 12 people die in a movie theater. I don't know if they're doing it up north, but down south, you go those overhead signs, kind of tell you about traffic delays. They give you kind of like a yearly running total of people died. I know in Tennessee and Kentucky alone, there's like 500 people this year have died from traffic accidents in Tennessee, like 600 in Kentucky. I mean, like I say, it's 12 people. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain. I mean, it seems like they, talk about guns and all this other stuff. It seems like the traffic stuff is more the problem than guns and all this other crap.
Here's Kevin in Minnesota. You're on the Run of Fest show.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
Ron, you asked a question earlier.
I did.
Yeah. Back in the 20s and 30s, they had the cowboy movies where maybe one guy would get shot. Then they had to up the ante with the gangster movies. And I think it's just been progressively more and more sensationalistic, and they have to keep upping the ante to keep people going to the movies. That's why with the destruction of the bodies now, it's like, what do we have to do to get the asses in the seats to make the money? And that's all they're worried about. And as a second point, no private citizen needs a 100-round clip. Maybe for the military, but there's no private citizen needs to be able to buy a 100-round clip for an AR.
Well, the interesting thing is, does any private citizen really need an assault rifle? And yet neither fucking party is bringing that up.
Nope.
And they're not going to, because you know why, Fez? They would lose. Now, Mitt Romney signed in a thing when he was governor, anti-assault rifle thing. He's not backing that now because he would lose. Obama, I'm sure if it was up to him to get rid of assault rifles, he doesn't want to lose. The NRA is a very fucking powerful thing. You can't beat them. They can't be beat right now.
They're very loud.
And they're very, very rich. There's a lot of money there.
When President Clinton signed that ban on assault rifles, that next election, that midterm election, any Democrat or whoever supported that bill with President Clinton, they were out. That was the big sweep in.
Right, because the American people want these things.